Welcome to Novel TV, where we got up and we have the new consoles. As you were able to see in the last few videos, the PS4 and Xbox One are in our living room, but if you want to show you guys how the games look like and how in-game is really the graphics, then we have to really get something like this. That's the GameCapture HD, which is a simple thing that you just plug in via HDMI cable right here into the box. So you can just take your PS4 or Xbox One, maybe, I'm not sure, since it says only PS3 and Xbox here on the box, but I mean the new consoles are just out, so they have to update that. So Elgato has a box here where you can just plug in your console into this device, the display out, and then you can plug in the HDMI cable that you would regularly use to plug in to your TV, this device just straight to your TV, but also there's a USB out to plug it into your computer, so you can capture everything on your computer, or it says actually here on the back, that's why it's actually that interesting, you can live stream to YouTube, to Twitch, and to other things like even Facebook. There is a live streaming capability, which is of course quite cool. It's a compact device. You have PlayStation 3 AV in, Xbox 360 unencrypted HDMI, quite cool HDMI pass-through, and you can actually simultaneously stream in 60 frames per second and record in 30 frames per second, which is actually quite enough in Full HD 1080p. But it's also possible to record in 1080i, 720p, 576p, 576i, and so on till down to 240p, which is really not that good of a resolution, but in 720p it's actually possible to record in either 60 or 30 frames per second, so that's quite cool. 142 grams or 5 ozones is what this device weighs. There's quite a few cables inside, but if you want to do it you need a Mac or a PC. It doesn't run on any Linux systems as far as we know right now, but on a Mac you need OS X 10.7 or later, with at least 2 GHz Intel Dual Core 2 Duo. So that's not the latest Mac, so the last 3 or 4 generations should do it. Or on a PC Windows 7 or later, so no XP guys or Vista. But also there 2 GHz Dual Core sound card, 4 gigs of RAM, and at least a USB 2.0 port, which of course I think in the last 5 years or 10 years should not be that hard. So you can see here some of the ports already, and on the side here's the box, but let's just slide it out here. And actually I didn't tell you the price yet. 150 bucks is what Elgato is charging us for this GameCapture HD device, but there's also Hauptbausch, which is I think a French company, and they charge the same thing for their GameCapture device. I checked out in the store yesterday a few of them, and there's also other companies for less than 100 bucks like Evermedia, but we haven't tried those yet, so I'm eager to see if that works. And actually this one also works for iOS devices, but you need of course an HDMI converter from Lightning or your 30-pin connector to plug it in here, but actually if you have that it still should work. And the same goes for Android devices. If you have a micro USB or an MHL, micro HDMI or MHA cable to HDMI, so anything that you can actually plug in here that gives out a signal should work to record. So let's just open up the box, where you will right away see here the GameCapture HD box. If I take it out, we'll take a closer look at that in a few minutes. First, it says here, get started means just take out this little paper thingy, and then it tells us what we have to do. So actually it's not that complicated, since there is only steps for the PS3 and Xbox 360. For both you just have to, as I said before, plug the display cable into the box, and then from the box the display cable again to the TV, also plug it in via USB, and you have to download the software. So there's no USB stick or no DVD or anything like that inside the box, but with a MacBook Air or anything like that there's no DVD drive anyway. So just go to gamecapture.com and /download to download your free software, which actually of course if you don't have the box, there's not much use for it. So that's that. Then we have quite a few cables inside the box right here below. Let me just grab all of them, and that's actually anyways it from the contents. So we have first of all a simple little cable, which is an AV in cable to UV and sound. So we have the red, green and blue plus the stereo sound here that goes inside the box. Yes, AV in. Then we have the same setup for a console, which I don't know yet, which has this connector, but I guess it's the PS3. So you have the special connector that goes again here in this, I would say S-Video port, but they call it AV in. And then there is of course a standard HDMI cable, so you can plug in the Elgato to your TV. That's important. It's not that long, it's about a meter, so about 3 to 4 feet. But it's a high-speed HDMI cable. It has no golden ends, but I think the quality should be still good enough. Since the main reason you would buy this is you cannot only record, you can also, when you plug it into your computer, use your own microphone. And for example, when you're saying something, the sound of the game will go down, and people can hear you better, but they still have the background noise of the game. So that's actually quite cool. Like you would be live there. So otherwise, the last cable here is a mini USB to USB cable. It's USB 2.0, but actually you will see in a second, I will not take these out right now, why you need that, since on the box we have exactly 4 ports. On one side there are the in ports, so we have the AV in, I showed you before, which you can use this cable or the other cable for to plug in your old consoles, or you just have a new one like the Xbox 360 and PS4 and Xbox One. I have them all here right next to me, and we can just plug it in directly via HDMI. Now the question is if the consoles allow to record the output HDMI, but I hope that Elgato has some smart software allowing that for us. Otherwise we won't be able to record today the Xbox One and the PS4 videos that we want to with all the games. Then we have a USB mini port for plugging into your computer, and the HDMI out port for, of course, still seeing on the TV what you are playing. So this is a small little box, and compared to, for example, the Xbox 360 that you will buy it for, you can see that it's really tiny. But with that one it will work definitely. With the PS4, as I said, I'm not sure. We will try it out today. I'm happy to see if it really works. And for the Xbox One, again, we don't know yet, but we will see. So as you can see, we have everything here. We will tell you guys if it worked. And if it worked, the first thing you will see right away online are our videos on our YouTube channel. So check them out. I will not do commentary, or if I do commentary, it will be probably in English, since that's the fairest way, and from all the games I have at least half an hour, so check them out on Endeavor TV. This was right now just the unboxing on Elgato GameCapture HD. Till next time, peace, and then again, if you're looking for games that were recorded with this, just check out my YouTube channel in the search and type in the name of this one, and I will actually tag all the games I recorded with this one, so you guys can see that what I have used. Till next time, my name is Balazs again, don't forget to subscribe, and thank you much for watching.